Plus, it's got a bimini.
What is a bimini?
It's that top.
Top. So it's got a Jeep top.
Yeah, a bimini top.
Isn't Bimini a place in Jamaica or the Bahamas or something?
I think you're thinking of Jiminy.
I don't think I am. So I have no desire to own that. I just thought it was a cool thing to look at.
They're well-made boats. And I think you might need a little bit more than just a trailer.
Wow. It's only got 16 hours left, and it's 18,000.
Yeah. Where is it? What body of water?
Cleveland.
So it's on the Erie?
Yep.
The Lake of Erie?
I would assume. I mean, that's where you'd have a boat like that. And then promptly die.
I don't see any reason that you would promptly die.
Well, if you go out in a storm, you'd at least get lost and then
the Edmund Fitzgerald?
Yeah, and then get stuck on an island somewhere.
That might actually have a better chance than the Edmund Fitzgerald had.
Because it's smaller?
Well, it's smaller and it's not heavily laden with like fucking iron ore or whatever the fuck the Edmund Fitzgerald had.
That's Big Woody.
Yeah. For some reason, I had
That's Woody Woodpecker.
just seen a photo of the Edmund Fitzgerald, the last known photo of the Edmund Fitzgerald the other day.
Lake Erie is a strange thing. I was out water skiing in Lake Erie, and we were far enough out that the land, you could see it, but it was pretty fucking far away.
Yeah.
And the people running the boat thought it would be funny to just stop because I don't like open water. And so I stopped being skiing and just sank. And I sank up to like my belly button. It's a weird lake.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of not very deep and then some deep spots where, and I think some of that has been
They probably
dredged out for traffic.
So enough of that boat.
Enough of this. Is there more than one boat?
There's more than one boat. All right, now to this boat. Which I believe Soren picked, which is a 2008 BMW 535 Xi sports wagon with the sport, premium, and cold weather packages.
So,
in Monaco blue, which is a great color.
It's a gorgeous color.
Mm-hmm.
I have a soft spot for station wagons.
Yeah.
I did not look closely to see if that is good in the mechanical sense. I know it's probably an automatic.
It is an automatic.
Which I would forgive in that car.
Yeah.
They did make those with a manual, though.
I like the interior. It's not ideal, but
it's got sport seats.
A little bit darker would be better.
Yeah.
But
and they're good-looking cars.
For a runaround car, I mean, obviously that's not a track car or anything, but for driving around town, picking up groceries, whatever.
As a daily driver.
I would be
probably pretty good.
Pretty okay with that. And I don't remember how many days it's got left, but it was like $8,000 when I looked at it.
Yeah.
And I feel like unless there's something I don't know about on the surface of it, I'd pay $8,000 for that car.
I don't know that I've seen those wheels on anything else.
They're not terrible.
I think I have either.
They're Alpina-esque.
Yeah.
I don't have strong feelings about the wheels.
It's 8146.
Ends in some sort of day.
Let's see if we can find out when it ends. Ends in. Are you ready for it?
Wait 47 comments.
Wait for
it.
It's ended.
18 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so let's say
I don't know that that's a really great price for one of those. How many miles? 104,000.
It's a good looking car.
It's good options.
Yeah.
Other than the manual, but as a daily,
I feel like that's a fair price for that.
You could throw dogs and people and whatever else in the back of that and not feel bad about it.
It's 300 horsepower, twin turbo, straight six.
You could make that a lot faster.
It's a big-ish car, and you can make it a lot faster. Yeah,
It appears to be in pretty good nick.
sure.
Yeah.
Minor damage reported,
Whatever.
It's
and
a
it has
wagon.
and it has a pano roof.
Which
Good things.
I don't care about, but whatever.
Yeah, looks good.
I'd have it.
You know what, Soren? I'd have it also.
California, so it's probably pretty nice underneath.
Well, the underneath that we saw looked to be the appropriate color and not so much that brownie red color that things turn here.
Yep. All right. Next boat.
Now what?
Ready?
Ready. Oh my. You know,
Now, this is a 2001 Audi S8 with a 6-speed manual
in
in a
a
gorgeous
thoroughly
silver.
boring color,
What?
but
That looks pretty good, I think.
I have a soft spot for that because it's that aluminum
Yeah.
Mono
Plus, it's an aluminum car.
thing.
Yeah, it's aluminum body.
I'd be a little concerned about the aluminum body getting all beat to shit, but I mean, it appears not to have done so far, at least.
And it's got LMs on it,
Yeah,
which is a great choice for the wheels.
yeah.
I wouldn't.
These I love.
KW coilovers, MagnaFlow muffler.
I wouldn't feel bad about owning it.
Dual zone climate control. The only thing not too super duper happy is the color of the inside, but it doesn't bother me that much.
Oh, I kind of like it, actually.
Yeah,
It goes with the outside.
yeah, and it's
If
got
that were-
suede inserts on the seats.
Yeah.
If that were a black car, that interior would not make me happy.
Sure, but it's a dark enough gray
Yeah,
that I like it.
yeah.
Okay. I like
think
that. I like that boat the best so far.
Yeah,
I'd have that.
and it's cheaper. It's the cheapest boats.
Presumably that's Quattro, right?
Yeah, V8. What are they? 300 horse, 310, 20
Said
horsepower?
360.
Oh, it is an S8.
Which, since that's an aluminum car, I would assume that it's relatively light for its size.
Yeah,
I'd say compared to modern cars.
yeah. Oh,
So that,
compared to a new one, that thing's a featherweight.
well, I'm just saying that horsepower is probably going to go a little further than it would.
Sure. God, that's got a lot of output there.
I think my main concern with a car like that is that as a kind of high-end luxury car of 23 years ago, it's going to be a lot of shit to break.
Nah.
I don't think Audi's very good at keeping spare parts either.
Just a lot of electronic stuff where it's going to be, well, that just doesn't work anymore.
I'm sure there's industrious little people out there that make all sorts of cool things that fix stuff.
But it does look like it's in great shape.
And it's got, looks like a new Audi
So it said,
drive system.
yeah.
What?
Like the head unit is like a
Oh.
new Audi thing.
Gotcha.
It said it was an
Like an
Audi
MMI.
RNSE.
RNSE. Huh.
And they look good.
Yeah.
It does look good.
Such a good proportion. Like a large car. That would be like a 3 Series nowadays, but
It's bigger than that.
I
not
think that
really.
remains a pretty big car.
I think it does.
I don't think so.
But I also like that it kind of looks like just a bigger, longer, wider S4.
Yeah. And the wheel choice is phenomenal.
Yep.
And I don't know when the last time I saw a manual one was.
I think that wasn't that swapped.
It would have to be, I would think, but
Yes, retrofitted with a 6-speed manual.
yeah,
I wonder what that's from.
probably the S4.
Probably an S4.
Isn't that what? So is the S4 the same as the A4?
No, it's an S4.
It's the same
Well, but it might have the
chassis,
same
it's
gearbox.
just-
It's not the
No,
same gearbox
not the
as
same
an A4.
gearbox.
It's probably the 6-speed out of a S4 V8, which would have been
One would hope.
2003.
Yeah, they've been the B6 or B5.5.
So
Yeah,
you
V6
feel
or-
that is enough gearbox for that motor in the car that it's pulling
Yeah.
around?
Those aren't crazy powered cars.
And I think the S4 was 300 and some horsepower, right?
The V8 one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of Eric's gearbox problems.
Oh, well, supposedly on Eric's gearbox, the 6-speed didn't have the issues that his had, like the regular V6 6-speed.
Right.
That came in the B5 S4,
So that is a 5-speed specific issue,
supposedly. yes.
supposedly. That's an issue with.
And it's not even rusty. Look at that.
No,
Where is this thing?
It shouldn't be rusty. It's aluminum.
Well, the subframe, like none of the bolts.
right. No, it looks pretty clean. It is in Houston,
Wow.
That probably helps with not
but
being
it was
rusty.
sold in 2023 for 25,000
Holy schmolies.
out of Houston.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I know car prices have been volatile lately, but that doesn't feel like. And that's no reserve. Man, somebody's getting fucked.
It's still got 5 days.
5 days.
Somebody's got fucked. Yeah. Fair enough.
I think it's worth it. I think if you're looking for a shoot, I mean, anything executive with a manual and you only have mid 20 money, I mean, maybe an M3, but those, some of them were
E39 M5.
E39 M5.
I don't think of the M3 as executive. I think of the M5 as executive.
Yeah, touche. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I mean, that's got
Sure.
it's got me written all over it.
That's got Audi's 7 million suspension links, apparently.
Yeah,
So I think we're done with boats.
Cool.
no more yachting.
Well, for a little while. That
Ooh,
is definitely the opposite of a boat.
is this mine?
74 Alfa Romeo GTV 2000 in
This
This is mine.
what color is that?
It's blue.
Okay.
Blue. Repainted blue.
Bleh.
Um,
I thought about picking that,
yeah,
but then I didn't pick that because I thought it would be too much like something I would pick. But I really like it.
I really like it, and I think that would be a really good, just kind of Saturday cruiser, or going to a fancy dinner.
I am inclined to agree on that. I don't feel like it merits $60,000,
No,
but
but look at all the work that's. I mean, that's a.
They might be getting a lot of money they spent on it back.
well, right. I mean, to me, it's not. I wouldn't want to spend 60 grand on it.
No, but that's
It's nice.
I think that's one of those things. If you
really
want
elegant.
one of those, you either buy one that's kind of crappy and redo it, or
You buy one that somebody bought when it was kind of crappy and redid it.
yeah, and you might actually save some money.
I mean, I think a Alphaholics one, they're north of $250,000.
Yeah, I don't know how much the Alphaholics ones cost. That's not an Alphaholics one though.
No.
Whoa,
Oh God, all the pictures disappeared.
good car.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it too.
Next,
Whoa.
1980 Alfa Romeo Spider Veloce.
I did that.
Really? A dark green with tan interior
Yeah.
convertible?
I mean, to be,
Who would have predicted that? I couldn't.
It's
even
not dark
With
guess.
a
green.
wood steering
it's a
wheel?
medium green.
It's British racing green.
It's not British racing green.
Is it
Prove me
Is
wrong.
it Italian racing green?
I don't know. British racing green is darker.
That's British
It's
racing green.
Verde Inglés.
That's English racing green.
Yeah.
No, that just means green.
That's British
English
racing
green. It's not British racing green.
It's
But
their-
even if it is, and I don't want to go over that too much.
it's their interpretation of it.
What I
I'm just
really
gonna
want
gloss
is like
over
a 1986 Quattrofiglio in metallic British racing green. but I'd have that, and it's $1,200
It's pretty
at the
wild.
moment.
I guess I don't really know anything about the Spica fuel injection, but it's mechanical fuel injection in 1980. But I
And
guess CIS is mechanical,
if
sort of.
Yeah.
my thought on selecting that was,
But
I know
it's
it's not
fine.
gonna go for $1,200, but if I drove by a little dealership that had that for $1,200, I'd probably stop and buy it and figure out how to pay for it
Anybody
later
would, and then they'd sell it for 20 grand.
because I like it.
Well, it's $1,200, no reserve with 3 days left. Where is it?
Colorado.
And I feel as though, you know, if
The wheels need changed immediately.
I would feel like I got my money's worth out of it just kind of driving it around on the weekends for summer.
I'd race you in my Alpha.
Is your Alpha the blue one?
Yep.
Well, you would win.
Would I?
I think so.
I'd win all the cool points.
Anyway, I like it.
No.
I like the shape of it. I don't like the shape of the back of it as much as I like the shape of the front of it.
Yeah, it's weird. I either like the shape of the boat tail or whatever ones, or I like the shape of the later ones with the
Little plastic.
all the
spoiler
plastic
thingy.
shit on it. This one's kind of a weird in between.
Yeah. Yeah, not into those. I'm a no on that one.
For $1,200, you're a no. Like if it was on a lot you could drive to in less than half an hour.
1,200
For
and a
$1,200.
grand, I'd buy it.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I'd buy that for $1,200.
But I'd probably just sell it.
I'd drive it around for a little bit and then sell it,
Okay.
or decide that I liked it and keep it, or whatever. That's a good color.
Well, this is a 1992 Lamborghini Diablo Soaring.
It's a good color. That's all I'm saying.
It better be because it's black.
It doesn't look black.
I know it
Looks
doesn't, but it says it is.
shimmery.
It does say it's narrow. Yeah.
I thought it was a really dark blue, but
Yep.
it says it's black. Because then, more than that picture, it looks dark blue.
Maybe it's got a blue tinted clear on it.
I think there's just blue sky and reflections or something.
I mean, those always look good.
What do you think that sells for?
I don't know, but there was, I think, a Countach by the same seller. When I was looking through here,
The inside
Yeah.
looks nice, like in good condition.
I would no question, hands down, have this over a Countach. Maybe because I'm younger and this was the cool Lamborghini when I was a kid. I mean, not saying that the Countach wasn't, but and I think these supposedly drive way better.
And that probably sounds really good.
Oh, it's got to sound phenomenal. There's a driving video.
It has test pipes.
Odds of this working are
So no mufflers.
Test pipes?
means noisy.
And mash the throttle.
Yeah. And it's got purple tint, which all my vehicles I've bought
And
have purple tint.
slow down.
All right.
But I'm not sure an industrial park is the best place to do your test drive.
It's got first gear.
It definitely has first gear.
Hopefully we're getting away from whatever that is. A Corvette. I love it.
Just not sure I would have started my video
Warming the engine up.
there.
Oh, that's not a good noise.
Which part?
Okay. We're finally getting on the highway.
Ooh.
Maybe?
Nope. Nope.
Yep.
Maybe.
Nope. Yep.
About to get T-boned.
What do you think the red light is?
Oh, come on, buddy. He almost passed a minivan.
It's a very snicky gearbox.
It's gated.
Sticky.
It's gated.
Ah.
Oh,
Ooh.
It's not the greatest driving video.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah,
okay.
it's terrible.
That's enough of that.
At least he was wearing shorts and a shirt.
You're saying at least he's fully clothed?
Well, yeah. And it didn't have velour seats, so I'm still buying it.
I'm curious where that ends up price-wise. 4?
Well, it's at 102,000 with
Think
5
No
days.
way. Oh, God, what's going on? Did we minimize it?
All right. Next.
Ah,
And then you go
Well.
from that to that.
to this. Also 6-speed.
Yeah. But look at it.
So
What's wrong with it? You
I'm
don't like those?
No.
The
The-
1999 Ferrari 360
the
Modena?
Lamborghini is
Modena?
so much better
Modena?
looking. I mean, that might be a great car. I don't know. But the Lamborghini looks so much more appealing. That kind of looks
I mean,
like
that's going to be a lot cheaper.
a Corvette that's not done.
Huh? Wow.
Ooh.
You're saying the Corvette's done?
It looks like somebody tried to make a Corvette and then was like, yeah, fuck it. Close enough.
You're funny.
I don't think
Yeah,
it's
I don't like that one at all. Barry.
visually
like it?
attractive.
Uh-uh. Look at the interior.
The door. I don't like the door panels. I like the seats. They're dark blue. It's a 6-speed. Silver. I like silver. It's got bad tires on it.
I think any car you buy that's used, you should pretty much just assume that you're going to have to put tires on it.
It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Did I say new? I meant used. But I also do that with new cars.
It's cheap.
Yeah, it is cheap. For now. I mean, it's still got 4 days left.
Yeah.
And it's only, what, 40,000 less than a Lamborghini?
Yeah, but that's gonna end up like I don't know. The Lamborghini. I don't know what those go for.
40,000 less than Lamborghini.
I would assume the Lamborghini is going to go over 2.
It's
It has one fewer days than the Lamborghini.
I think it's going to go way higher.
Yeah, this would probably end around 100. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, it's not a big 360 fan.
No, I like it. I think I'm kind of heavy on exotics this week, which
You think?
yeah, because this is also my other.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's hard to guess that one.
I know.
You don't say this wasn't Soren's.
No, it's not.
Because he
But-
thinks it looks like a Hyundai or something.
Yeah, he thinks it looks like a Kia.
I just think it doesn't look like a Ferrari, is the thing.
But it is, and it does.
It does. Very much. looks like a
As cars that don't look like Ferraris go, that's not bad looking. I'm not saying it's a bad looking car. I just don't feel like it looks like a Ferrari.
Ooh, I didn't know it had
Oh,
dual
I
colored
do like that.
Daytona seats.
yeah. I don't know if the price is. I mean, it's pretty similar to that
cheap.
360. That's way better than the 360.
Yeah. Well, I would assume that's going to go over 2. But I could be wrong there.
I mean, that's
It's a conversion car,
right.
which I would prefer.
What does that mean?
It came with an F1 gearbox, and they
Flappy
took
pedal.
all the flappy pedally things off and put on a stick shifter.
At the factory?
No,
So some person
Somebody
did that?
converted
someone
it.
converted it to a manual.
Don't you have to worry about if they did a good job of that?
I think with these cars, everybody does a good job.
Okay.
There's probably better ones than other ones, but
It looks like it lives in a low rust place
yeah,
geographically.
that
I do like
interior
those seats.
is awesome.
Like the closer you get to those seats, the more I like them.
Yeah,
That's why they took lots of pictures of the seats.
yeah. And the seatbelts. In case you're wondering if it had seatbelts.
Maybe that's a high wear area, and they're just demonstrating that it's not highly worn. I'm postulating.
I think it had luggage too, right?
I don't know if this car does.
It
Thought I had
appeared
a
to have
picture.
books that were leather.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it books?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the owner's manual. And tools, maybe.
I would expect that to be a mid-engine car. And
What? No. It's Friends
what?
and V12.
I just the way the inside of that's laid out, I would expect that to be a mid-engine car.
Why?
I don't know. That's just my feeling on it.
I think
Weird
that's
feeling.
gorgeous. That's got the super good wheels. It's got good seats. Black.
Eh, I don't. I'd have that. Like if I inherited it or you gave it to me. But there's no amount of money I could have where I would go, I think that's worth 70 grand.
Big V12, 500 horsepower. Looks
There's
fantastic.
no running through the canyon video.
6-speed? No, there's not.
It's
I do
got
like the hood.
skyhook suspension, Soren.
What does that mean?
Not sure, but it's got it.
I believe it shares that with a Ford.
Shut your mouth. You mean Aston Martin?
Don't think Aston Martin. I think it's. See if there's. They probably didn't take pictures of the front suspension.
Oh, there's one. There's a better lit one up. Two more to the right.
To the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better lit. This internet connection sucks.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
Where do you see a better lit one?
That one on the right.
Oh, well, there it is for Maserati.
Is Skyhook a way of saying double wishbone?
You know what? I don't care.
We don't care. It's got it. And it looks phenomenal. And I'm sure it rides just fine.
Yeah, okay.
All we really care about is the seats.
I'm not against it.
I mean, it's black, 6-speed, great wheels. The seats are fantastic. Did I mention the V12?
It's got a V12, Soren, and a 6-speed manual.
And I like both of those
And it's
things.
black, and it's got shields, and it's got the chairs,
When you say shields, what does that mean?
shields on the fenders.
Oh.
Those are stickers, aren't they?
Nope, those are indented.
Oh. It's got Ferrari symbols.
Those are factory Ferrari shields.
All right.
Very expensive.
Next.
Oh, boy. What is this?
So I picked this.
What is it?
It's
an
an LS.
LS6 powered 55 Chevy 210 handyman wagon with a 6-speed.
Where'd you find this?
On Bring a Trailer. So I picked this because
It's got big knobbly tires.
no, because I'm generally fairly harsh about anything American, but certainly anything from ye olde days. And I kind of liked it, and I thought it would be a good thing to look at and
Is this a test for us, Soren?
explore. No, because I kind of like it.
You kind of like it?
I kind of like it.
So you would spend your money on it?
I would have to have significantly more money than I have now. But yes, I like the interior. Although I hadn't looked at the interior, I only looked at the outside picture.
odd that I didn't see this whatsoever,
I know it's not
but I like it.
a lowrider, but it is pretty low slung.
What? I like the wheels. I like color combo. Yeah, those are good looking cars.
Seems to be tastefully done.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty nice.
it's a station wagon, and I like station wagons.
Oh yeah, look at the back of it.
Yeah. The engine bay was the biggest downfall so far.
It's standard LS letdown.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, that's worse than that.
Is it worse than that?
Yeah.
It means the LS engines
I don't know what was going on in the firewall, but it made me almost want to throw up in my mouth.
kind of look like crap.
Whoa. Is this power seats?
Yep.
The passenger does not get them.
Why
And
would
I
you do that?
really like that 3-tone door card.
Some thick leather too.
That's a lot of cow.
I think the bottom piece might be over wood.
Well, the red part. Oh, that's the ECU on the firewall.
Yeah, I don't think that's
why would
vomitous.
you
It's
do
pretty
that?
clean.
I don't think those are.
I don't know.
They might go under. Yeah, those go under the engine bay in certain cars.
I mean,
Most of them.
I might clean that up a little in terms of just visually, but it seems to be laid out pretty nicely.
The engine itself looks good. The wires, I'd put some sheathing on,
Yeah.
and I'd probably
Paint the ECU thing.
ECU thing black.
Kind of feel like when I see this, it's just disappointing.
Because of the plasticky bits on
The
top?
big plastic covers,
What's underneath those?
ugly.
Coils and wires
So
and stuff.
you don't really have an option, right?
Yeah, fine. That doesn't bother me.
No, you can make that not look as bad.
How?
Sure, you could spend a bunch of money.
Paint it black?
They've got valve covers
Yeah.
that have, you can put the coil packs inside the valve cover and then you don't see them. Or you can move the coil pack somewhere else. And put
Yeah.
valve covers that
No,
don't
I think
coil
I'd just
packs on
leave
them.
it that way and not worry about it. And
Just saying.
sheathe the wires, paint the ECU mount, and maybe build a little battery box so I don't have to look at the battery.
Mainly, I don't like the wiring.
Just saying, it's kind of eh.
The engine is the nicest part of that engine.
It's also not a Corvette.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing that engine came that way.
It did. It's an LS6.
Manifolds, no headers.
I imagine you have a lot of options for engine upgrades with that engine.
No power brakes either.
Oh yeah. Is it?
Maybe it's Hydro Boost.
It's not Hydro
No.
Boost.
They have, yeah. Interesting.
I still think it's a pretty good looking car.
Yeah.
It is. Does it have a chassis under it?
Is
that all?
I hope so. Otherwise, it would just all fall apart.
Well, it's got lots of stuff under there.
I think they all had chassis back in that day.
Yeah.
Well, whew.
They came from the factory with a chassis.
There's a lot of exhaust going on.
Yeah, I was wondering what all this tube things are.
I
Thought those were chassis things, but those are exhaust pipes.
I do see the cutouts.
Yeah. Wow. So assuming they're behind the tires.
I did not even notice that in the pictures.
No.
It looks like they kind of flatten out. So maybe it's not meant to be noticed.
Oh, they're tucked up pretty good.
Interesting.
It's got knobbly tires on. What's up with that?
I think they're not knobbly. They're just
They're knobbly on the
not
sidewall.
smooth.
Whoa.
Sleek.
And I agree with you, Barry. I like those wheels.
And they're magnesium.
Interesting that they would go to the trouble of having a light wheel on a car that is no doubt really very heavy.
It's probably not that heavy.
It's got to be heavy.
Why?
It's got a chassis.
Mhm.
They didn't make the sheet metal in the bodies of cars back then wasn't exactly thin.
True.
I mean, yeah, it probably doesn't have a lot of asphalt in it from the factory, but I'm guessing.
I tell you what, they did a really good job concealing those cutouts.
Yeah. You don't really see them.
I'm guessing when they redid the interior, they did put some sound deadening in it.
Does it look like it has a lot of camber in the back?
It does.
I think it's a solid axle.
I think that might be an optical illusion.
Nope.
Independent though.
It definitely has a chassis.
Where?
The silver bits running down the sides outside of the exhaust.
These.
Oh,
That's the exhaust.
That's pretty sturdy chassis.
Yeah.
That must be the torque boxes right there.
Interesting. Okay.
I like it, Soren. I'm puzzled.
Puzzled that he picked it.
So that would go in your garage, in your warehouse, and you'd drive it?
I would drive that, yeah.
Would you go pick up stuff at the hardware store?
Would you drive it here?
I wouldn't drive it to Lowe's or Home Depot, but I would drive it to the hardware exchange because I think if I drove that up to the hardware exchange, the old dudes that work in the hardware exchange would come out and be like, well, that's pretty badass.
I don't think they ever come out. I
But
think
it's
they
a
all live
handyman.
there.
I've seen them come out.
I think you'd have to go on the backside where the dock is.
But primarily, I would like that as a just kind of cruising car.
So what's the difference between that and a Nomad? Just trim package?
No, Nomad's different.
Sure.
I think all this is different on a Nomad.
Well, the Nomad, at least the later ones, it looked more slanted on the back.
The later 55 Nomads?
Yeah, the later 55 Nomads were slanted on the back.
What did the early 55 Nomads look
Well,
like?
I thought they looked like that.
That is a two-door wagon, but it's not a Nomad.
So Nomad, the glass area is different. The roof.
Yep,
So the roof's different.
all of it.
Not all of it.
That's all different.
It's all pretty different.
No, it's not.
That's pretty all different. Yeah.
The fenders and stuff are the same.
It is
The front ones.
less. It's got less inside the car and more decorative on the Nomad.
All right, back to the other one.
It's difficult.
Completely different.
Totally different.
I'm not sure I like the Nomad, but I do like that.
Now I really hate this car.
And it's painted in
hate it?
BMW shade
Yeah, I hate
sterling gray with a powder coated frame.
It's got BMW seats.
There you go.
Is that why he had the switches?
It's almost a BMW.
It's good. Next. Ooh, one of my favorite cars of the week.
I don't feel that those wheels go on that car.
I think those wheels look pretty good.
You mean this 1970
I
Pontiac Firebird
don't dislike
Formula
those wheels. I think they
6-speed
don't match that car very well.
with an LT4 in this color?
Also, that's not a color of car I would ever really want.
This
That's
color
Very interesting color.
with this car almost has to have these wheels. I love it doesn't have the. This is basically like my version. If it were brown, this would be my Rockford File car.
Would you have bronze wheels on a brown car?
Those are gray.
Right?
I might.
Like to have the centers be bronze instead of gray?
Sure.
I think that would make more sense on a brown car. It might even make more sense on that car.
I like the seats. I mean, you could probably tidy that up a little bit.
I don't know if you can do much tidying up on those.
Yeah. But still. I mean, the supercharger is bigger than Soren's Subaru engine.
No, it's not.
Almost.
No, it's not almost bigger. It's definitely smaller.
How big is your Subaru?
2.
Yeah.
1.7 is not almost bigger than 2.
It's almost bigger.
No, it's almost
It's 0.4
the same size. It's
of a liter.
85% of the same size.
As an entire engine that powers a Subaru.
That's a pretty wild color.
I like it.
It almost looks like a artist rendering in some of those pictures.
It is. It'll wake you up in the morning when you walk out to get in that thing.
I am not a fan of that color.
I'm usually not. Do they say what color it is?
Yeah,
It says it's green.
It's unwell urine color.
Nah, I think unwell urine color is a lot darker and probably browner and redder.
Depends on what you're unwell with.
Oh, it was refinished under prior ownership in green.
Current shade of green.
Kind of looks like a House of Colors kind of thing.
Maybe.
It's got a little bit of
Green
flip-flop.
flop. Yeah. Only thing there I don't like is the hood ducts aren't black on the inside or real
So,
or however that works.
in that top picture, the bottom part of the grill doesn't look like it's attached correctly.
What?
Well,
the bottom
here
part
we
of-
go again.
But-
Soren doesn't like Pontiac front ends.
What are you saying?
You've got the part of the part of the front that includes the grills and the headlights,
Yeah,
and then below
The
that is
lower
another
valance.
piece.
the
And
valance.
that piece looks like it's not mated up correctly with the top piece.
Oh,
There's a gap.
It
What do you want?
just doesn't look like it goes there.
This is 1970.
you probably could have made that cap a little tighter.
It was GM.
Well, not when that was repainted. It wasn't.
I don't think that's how you do that.
You don't think that's how you do
I
that?
don't think that's how you do that. I mean, I think you could do that if you custom made it that way.
It just kind of looks like it's an afterthought.
I think they did that because the bottom's metal. I think the grill and headlights surround some sort of plastic,
is-
right?
Yeah, it's like a foam
Yeah.
Endura material.
So I think they needed room for expansion, Soren.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Not just shoddy manufacture
Uh-huh.
and/or design.
Yeah. Oh, that's not green. It does have grills in there.
Do
The hood scoops have grills in them.
Oh, yeah.
They could still be black. I would agree that.
God, you don't like those wheels?
I do like those wheels. I don't like those wheels on this car.
Hmm.
I don't think they go with it.
I think this car is almost perfect. The only thing I'd maybe change on it is to just paint it metallic brown.
It's just the whole color.
Well, just to put my no, you can't cheat
I
here.
have to cheat. Sorry.
Just because you didn't do your homework doesn't
Hey.
mean you can cheat.
Yeah, but look at that.
I know. I always wanted a Rockford kind of replica hot roddy thing, and I think this could be a great starting point.
How much is it?
It's at 85,000.
Price is no object.
With how many days?
I think it said 3.
So that could easily go 120, 140.
Sure.
It's not a starting point.
It's a starting point.
Yeah, I think if you bought that, you're not changing much.
I wouldn't change the color. I'm kidding you, but if I built a Rockford replica, it'd look a lot like that, just brown.
Okay.
Next.
Oh, we just go right to the cheater model.
Sorry, had to go to the cheat. Yep. RUF BTR, lightweight.
I don't.
Is this a replica or a real one? Well,
It doesn't say replica,
it's not.
and it's what, $226,000.
Yeah.
So not a big fan of white cars. The white does okay on that.
I don't know how you don't like white 911s with white wheels
Said it's okay
from the 80s.
because it could be a black 911 with black wheels from the 80s, and that would be cooler.
You think?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that looks amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I think I want to go look at the interior now. Oh yeah.
It's not bad. I'm
It's
assuming
got,
if you look closely at that, that's houndstooth.
yeah, it's got different seats than I thought it did, but
Mm-hmm.
I thought it had some bitchin' 80s
Well, it said it
headrests in it.
originally had lightweight Recaros.
Right.
I'm guessing that's not them because I don't think they made that seat then.
No.
Whatever. Well, I guess depends on what year that was.
Well, maybe I was looking at the seatbelt opening. It looked like it had like those crazy weird Volvo. Remember those Recaros that had the weird headrests back in the day
With the mesh.
with the or the mesh. They had slots or mesh or something.
Right. It's not those. It's
It's not.
SRs.
Yeah,
The seatbelt slots.
really clean.
I mean, you're paying for it,
Yeah,
but that's pretty cool.
you are paying for it.
Roof is a finisher, a modifier.
I think they,
have their.
at one point, they were a constructor.
They were a manufacturer.
Kind of Alpina-esque
Yeah.
in function,
Yeah.
if not sensibility.
Kind of don't like those seats in it.
Yeah, they're too new. But I like that they tried to make them look fine.
Sure. Yeah, the rest of that car is bitching. Okay. Next one.
Next.
Are you ready?
Bring
Actually,
it on.
already.
God, what are we heavy on mine?
Well,
1988 Chevrolet Corvette
you said
Callaway
80
twin
car
turbo.
links.
I sent you. This is the least amount of car links I've sent you.
I don't think so.
Yeah. This was a non-negotiable. This was not coming off my list this week at any cost.
This looks like a more finished version of that Ferrari.
You, sir, you should be a stand-up comedian.
It does. It looks like they finished making that Ferrari. Except maybe on the inside.
Because it's got a badge on the center console?
No, because it looks more complete in its
There's
design.
a guy, and I don't know if it's the same car, but I suspect it is. Maybe it's not. There's a guy with this car, same color and everything. He's got gold BBS LMs on it. Oh, it looks so good.
It's interesting that this is a 5.7 liter V8, and that other one I think was a 5.7 liter V12.
Sure. It's the same engine that's in my car, mostly, sort of, kind of, a little bit. Probably the same displacement.
Block? Same block?
I don't know. I don't know if these are 4-bolt mains.
So it looks like it's still an L98,
Yeah, so it might be a 2-bolt.
but forged crank.
And yeah, I know the internals are different. It's probably got the same, well, not even the same exact oil pan, because it's probably got an oil return in it. But
Well, torque cracks me up.
yeah, 382 horsepowers and 562 torches. I'd just love to drive one of those for a while and see if it's unamusing or if it's just hilariously burnouty.
I think it would be a lot like your Corvette, just more
Corvette.
power and sort of everywhere,
Right.
like a lot. 560 chainsaw guns torques.
That's a ton. And this was at one point the fastest car in the world. I think so.
I mean, you keep saying that, so it must be
You
true.
have said that before.
Yep. C4
And I-
Corvette is the fastest car in the world.
You keep repeating it, so
I feel like that
that means it's become a fact.
may have been true for a very brief window.
I think you're thinking of Sledgehammer.
Which is
Callaway Sledgehammer. It's way more than that.
sure,
And they only built one.
and
So
still a twin turbo Corvette C4. Basically, my car with just a couple little turbos on it.
Tesla is the fastest car in the world.
Has that ever thought that the
Well, it's not in the world anymore.
Huh?
It was the I think it was the fastest car in the world for at one point.
The Falcon Heavy
Sledgehammer
launch,
was.
they launched a Tesla to Mars, and while still in Earth atmosphere, it was going 27,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, not under its own power though.
Yeah,
Doesn't count.
It's a car, and that's the fastest.
Nope.
it's got. Oh, it's an automatic. Gross.
Well, that means you can be more drunk
No, it's not.
when you're driving it.
Well, what are those? Are those just trans cooler
That's
lines?
4+3.
Tell me that has a transmission
This?
cooler? No.
That's an oil drain.
Right. Go back. Those ones that are zip tied together on the left side of this picture on the oil pan that go back to the transmission.
Yeah. You think that's an automatic transmission?
The oil pan looks like an automatic transmission on the transmission.
Is that on the transmission?
I'm guessing the transmission oil pan on the transmission looks like the oil pan on the transmission.
I don't know what you just said. That does look like an automatic transmission oil pan.
Does it?
I mean, I'm not saying a manual transmission couldn't have an oil pan like that. It just looks like an automatic transmission oil pan.
We'll never know.
It should be in the description.
Oh, God.
What automatic transmission does that look like?
I'm not quite sure.
A Hydromatic 350.
No.
No. That sounded
That
good.
Does that pan have baffles welded in it, you think?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what's going on back there. Oh, could that be the oil tank for the turbos or something? The pump? It's got to be turbo related.
It does?
Well, insofar as that it's part of the drivetrain.
Well, I'm thinking that that's like the scavenger tank or something, or the something for the oil for the turbos.
What transmission is in that? It's an 88.
What year? That would have been a 4+3
Okay.
or an automatic.
What does 4+3 mean?
It's the Doug Nash 4-speed, and then it's got three
overdrives?
overdrives for second, third, and fourth that were electronically selectable.
That's what that is. That's your overdrive.
That doesn't look like an overdrive.
It
What
looks
does an
like an
overdrive look
automatic
like?
transmission.
Well, normally it's kind of a planetary gear arrangement.
Well, I guess when you put 500 and some foot-pounds of torque through it, it gets hot.
And becomes rectangular.
Yep, and then they
Trapezoidal?
So ship here.
Yeah, I see that. I
For
don't know what color that interior is.
I don't know. It's interesting. Sort of
Artificial limb.
Yeah, artificial limb with a tan.
Taupe.
And the seats
Kind of like it.
are pretty bitchin'.
Are those buttons and things on the front of the side bolsters?
They were different. Those are different seats than the sport seats in my car.
Are they?
Yeah. Mine had a lot more bolstery things going on the top half.
All right. Next.
26,000, cool
No.
car.
Not next.
So that's an 88 Callaway twin turbo 4-speed. 26,000.
That's
5
cheap.
days left.
I need coffee.
What? Oh my God.
Did you pick this one, Soren?
Near. But I do need to get coffee.
Well, if Soren would quit picking Corvette ZR1s, then
He has a fascination with the C4 ZR1.
He does not.
He
you
does.
do. You thought the last car wasn't good enough, so
That
you
car
picked a worse one.
has 1,000, what is it, 50 miles a year? No, 150 miles a year. 120, I don't know. Yeah, 120 miles a year since it was made. I don't like that. I feel like that is not a good sign for its overall health.
Definitely needs to be driven.
Oh my God, that's
Ooh,
terrible. It's ketchup.
no.
It's not a good red.
Mason, did you pick this?
I did not pick this.
I don't know. God, that means I left that on my list.
Yep.
All right. So here's my reasoning behind that.
It's an accident.
No, 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 no,
It's yet another Corvette.
no. This was going to get deleted off my list, which in hindsight I should have done, but it's a ZR1. I
Yeah.
love white with red interiors.
Mm-hmm.
And where else can you find a greater example of one of those?
It does look good. I think 94 is the best year
Yeah.
because it's the last year, right?
95, I
Did they
thought.
not do it to 96?
Did they?
I believe it said in there they did it to 95.
Was it 95? Okay. But I think 94, 95 are 405 horsepower.
Yeah, it's the uprated, the powers.
I think the earlier ones are 385.
Yeah, something like that.
That's not a good red.
No, it's a great red. I just love, because a lot of the red ones have red interior, but that's just a lot of red.
Yeah.
It does have really good wheels for a Corvette.
It's got the best
Wheels are great.
wheels.
I like the color combination too.
Yeah.
I think white with red looks great. I'd like to drive one of those.
And that's got the newer seats, which, well, I don't know.
I don't think I like them as
I
much.
like the older seats and I like the older dash better.
Sure.
And definitely the older steering wheel is better.
Because that one looks like it has a claymore pointed at your face.
Oh, yeah, because it
That
does.
one looks like it came out of an Astro van.
Yeah. But you know what?
I will say that engine looks pretty good.
And it's pretty cool.
It's pretty nice. That was quite the feat. The feat of Americans trying to do other things than they usually do.
What?
That's the back of the car, right? That next picture.
That's front.
That's front.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I can see the gearbox now. So I do like about this that a lot of the parts you can't see look like some dude welded them out of angle iron.
What? All the suspension's aluminum.
But the subframe looks like I
There's
made
no
it
subframe.
in my garage or whatever that
The
is.
frame.
It's frame.
It's frame.
The frame. It looks like I made it out of shit I got at the hardware store.
Now, this is coming from a guy that wanted to buy a Chris Craft.
I didn't want to buy it. I specifically said I didn't want to buy it. I just wanted to look at it.
I'll give you a point on that it does have leaf springs, but they all did. And they were fancy ones.
Why would you put a Magnaflow exhaust on it if you don't drive it?
So it doesn't rust?
Maybe for forum points or something. I don't know.
Because that's what you do with those?
Put a Magnaflow exhaust on them?
I don't know the answer to that. I just
Maybe
was postulating.
the small, minute amount of times he drove it, he was like, this is not good enough.
Needs to breathe more.
I need an exhaust.
Okay.
Which I would agree, probably. I don't think it would hurt.
No. Okay. Well, enough of that.
Yeah. Next. Well,
75
let's go back.
Triumph TR6. Go back to what?
Okay, so
01.
I know,
Anything else?
I put things like this on my list because I like them.
It's dark green with tan interior.
I really have grown fond of the TR6
I like the
And-
TR6.
at that price, which it won't end at, but at that price, I would just buy that one. Which is why I put it on my list.
It's green.
It's green. It's got a tan interior.
Yep.
It's not a good tan. Whatever, that can be fixed. The
there's
steering
only
wheel
like
cover
two
would have to
things
come
that are
off.
tan in there. The seats.
It's true.
Yeah, but I think that counts as the interior.
Sure.
Hey, we don't have to look at it for very long. Oh, it's got
Okay.
door cards.
Those are
That-
gray.
No, they're not. They're the same tan.
No, they're not.
I kind of like the wheels on it.
Oh, maybe they are. Yeah, I do like the wheels.
Anyway, I would actually have that one.
It doesn't have power windows. How are you going to drive it?
Just turn the cranky bits.
Oh,
I had a Fiat Spider. I think it had a red interior. It might have been a beige interior. Whatever the interior was, it was trashed. And I went to a wrecking yard that had a Fiat Spider in the wrecking yard, and I just bought the whole interior out of it.
Probably not a terribly hard thing to replace.
No. And changed color.
I mean, we did most of the interior of an Audi A4 in
Yep.
an afternoon.
Everything except the dashboard. Okay. Well, there it
Hey.
is. Green TR6.
I like the flag.
I like the
The best part's the wheels.
kind of lameness of the TR6. And I don't, that's not the right way to explain it, but I like that it's the attempt to be cool that doesn't entirely succeed.
I think a TR4 is better. Was the TR4 the one with the hump in
Think
the
so.
hood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks better, but it's an even more miserable engine.
Sure. Then you just put an LS in it.
I'm not going to do that.
All right, next.
You know I'm not going to do that.
Next.
I also
Speaking-
picked this one.
Speaking of lame,
Whoa.
I picked this one because I don't like Mercedes, but that's a good-looking Mercedes. It is probably not very good to drive, I will certainly grant, but
looks good.
it is visually appealing.
It's so good looking.
I have no idea if it's good to drive.
It can't be.
It's
Probably
got to
not.
be.
It's a 1.9 liter inline
For
something, and it's probably got drum brakes all the way around, and it's probably reasonably heavy for both its power and braking and tires.
No, a lot of that's aluminum.
But it fucking looks good.
It looks great.
And if I feel like that's I'm showing up to dinner car.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what?
you get out, you got a fucking tux on, and it looks like you should have come in that car.
Yeah, you would definitely show me up if I arrived in my Alpha, that blue one, and you arrived.
No,
in
you would
this.
get there half an hour earlier.
No. Well, I would probably have more fun getting there. Well, I don't know.
yes.
I'd have more fun driving getting there.
Anyway, I picked that entirely on eye candy.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
I'm proud of you. Next.
Next.
All
I'm
right.
gonna buy a Mercedes.
Yeah, if you want to buy a Mercedes, buy a 2008 CLK 63 black.
So that might be good to drive. I don't know.
That's not black.
Yeah, I realize that.
It says it's black.
It's a black series,
It's obviously
but it's
been
not
painted.
attractive. It's an
do
ugly
you
fucking
mean?
car.
Now, I will say white is not the best color for this car. Silver and black make it look way better. I think this car looks phenomenal. The flares, I like the CLK body shape of this era anyway.
See, I think you're looking at subtleties, and I can't get past the fact that overall it looks like a Passat.
First of all, Soren, it's got 2 doors.
It doesn't matter. It's Passat shaped.
And
It's
it's
just
got
a
big,
boring
fat
jelly bean.
Mercedes emblem on the front. And it's got a big, fat Mercedes engine in it.
That's a huge engine.
A giant engine with 500 horsepower.
Unfortunately, it's also got a big, fat automatic transmission.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to say anything there.
Because Mercedes is for fucking old retired people. That's just the way it is.
Well, apparently those have really stiff suspensions, which I would want to test out just to verify.
Okay. Is that a good thing?
Yeah. I mean, that is the sportiest automatic shifter I've seen in a long time.
Oh,
I'll put it to you that way. Huh?
You saying that the shifter looks sporty?
Look at it. It's aluminum and it's got notches where you shift it around and it's got a little handle.
It doesn't make any difference whether it's sporty looking or just a fucking potentiometer knob on the dashboard. It's still an automatic transmission.
And it's got carbon fiber surrounds.
But that doesn't make any difference.
They made the steering wheel sportier. It's flat bottomed-ish.
it's pretty ugly steering wheel.
No, it's terrible.
It
But
is.
you know what? I bet I don't care what the steering wheel looks like when I'm doing amazing things in this car.
Okay.
I vote next.
At 90 grand?
Yeah, definitely at 90. Next.
All right. Whatever.
That's a me.
What is it?
It's a 1986 911 Turbo, 50,000 miles.
Yeah, it's a
In
good thing I didn't keep this car on my list.
in a beautiful 70s color.
You
Garnet
think so?
red.
That's a very browny red. It's got a very browny interior. It
Talk
it
about
goes with fucking Voulevants.
Unhealthy
And
stool color.
70s color on your 80s Porsche.
it's a good color.
The interior's a good color.
That's not bad. So I picked that one on looks and also on that I think mid to late 80s Porsche 911 Turbo is the best looking Porsche ever. Styling
Boy,
wise.
that's a bold statement.
Oh, well, that's what I think. And I think that one's either just came nicely done or has been nicely redone. I didn't look close enough to tell. But I would have it.
Yeah.
It's cool. For the money, it's really cool.
Which, of course, it won't stay there.
No.
Okay. Are there cooler ones?
Oh, yeah.
Not this week.
Oh, yes, there were. Look at this, Soren.
That's not an 80s Porsche.
This is my 1994 911 Turbo S X85 Flakbach.
Flakbau? Or Flakba? Maybe? I don't know.
Midnight blue metallic over cobalt leather
Yes.
and patterned cloth.
I assume cobalt is blue.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a lovely paint color and probably a very nice interior.
And dark root wood interior trim.
Let's look at the interior.
God, just look at it, Soren. It's
Are
got
those-
a flat nose.
Are those turbo twist wheels?
So that car cost $99,000 in 94,
Oh,
and that option is 60 grand.
just for the nose.
Yep. For the Turbo S, I think.
So that was $154,000 30 years ago.
Yep.
Were all the S's? Those weren't
Ooh.
all
Oh wow.
flat nose, were they?
Look at that.
Some of that is window tint, I think.
No.
I think some of that's the shadow.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That'll wake you up in the morning.
I want a better shot of the interior.
Well,
Because
fine.
I
We'll
feel
get there.
like
I love the headlights.
they lay flat and then pop out.
Look at it. They're frog lights. They're amazing.
Those are not turbo twists.
Nope, those are speed lines. That is just
That's
wild.
pretty cool. I like
Yeah, okay, that's a lot of money. It's at $250,000 right now.
Oh,
There
that's worth
is-
at least double.
There is an amount of
And look at
money
the wood.
that I could have that I would own that.
I would have
I'll never have that
About-
amount of money. But
another $150 in my bank account than whatever this sells for. And might have it.
that's not the right way to think about it.
Why not? Well, I'd have to have enough for taxes, I guess.
Hmm. That is pretty badass.
I don't know that this is a 101. There's not another one like it.
Is that what it said?
That's what I'm saying. I'm confirming that this is a 1 of 1.
I'm
Pre-built
assuming that was something somebody custom ordered,
It's called history.
and so it probably is a 1 of 1.
I don't
At
think
least-
there's another one of those with that color, with that interior. Because I don't know that there's a whole lot of those to begin with. I just enjoy the interior's wild,
It is.
and I love it.
Pretty nice. So is Fluckbow
Salvage title in 2002, total loss in 2009, severe damage in 2013.
What? How do we flock bow this up so much?
well, based on the
Salvage
fact that
title-
it's currently at 250 grand, people seem to not care about that.
No.
I'm gonna guess people use this as insurance fraud a couple of times.
That's you should say, in my opinion.
I'm going to guess finding that nose
In someone's opinion.
and that fender
Oh yeah. Oh, that's gonna be expensive.
probably really hard to find and really expensive.
The bumper's probably not terribly hard to find. Well, I guess the lower part's different, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. Says rise front fascia with pop-up and pop-up headlights.
Yeah. The fenders and headlight mechanisms are going to be super hard to find.
Yeah, probably hard to find. One of 39 US spec X85 flock bow,
But that's before you consider the interior, right?
probably.
Yeah.
I can't imagine there are 2 out of 39 that have that interior.
I don't know that there would be 2 of those 39 that are the same color. But they might be.
So that's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
It does bring up an interesting question,
Yeah.
and that's
Do you care it's been totaled 4 times? No, I don't.
do you care it's been totaled 4 times? I don't see how you can total a car more than once.
Well-
I mean, it's salvage after that, regardless.
I don't.
Unless it goes somewhere like Singer and they retitle it.
The seller is saying that was all the same thing.
I mean,
It was
yeah,
all
they
one crash.
they
That
might
took
have tried a couple
7 years
of
to resolve.
times to
Yeah.
fix it, but yeah, at some point, some of that is just going to be irreplaceable. So you can't really.
I mean, That car always had to be worth a pile of money.
A pile.
Well, it was $154,000 new.
I don't think it would ever have lost value,
How could it
even
be
if it was just a regular Turbo S.
How could it be a total loss?
Well, just not like we've totaled cars because we can't get parts for them for like 9 months or a year or whatever. The storage fees or whatever. Plus,
So it might not be a cost related to value. It might just be a
right. You can't get
tenability of repair.
Yeah. So maybe that's what happened.
Could be.
Maybe they wrecked it 12 times into the same parking garage. One was definitely a stolen vehicle.
Why?
Stolen recovery. I'd steal that thing.
I think that's all one incident.
Yes. Again, the seller says that's all from one incident.
Yeah.
All right.
Called insurance fraud. Supposedly.
No, not supposedly.
I don't think that's insurance fraud. I think that's just it got in an accident and the insurance company said we can't fix it.
Yep. They're fraudening the owner.
With some crappy body shop that said we can't get parts for it.
Yep. They totaled it.
Yep.
All right, next.
And presumably then the owner just bought it back.
Ooh. Now this 1996 Carrera RS, which I didn't realize was an RS until I actually clicked on it. I just thought it looked cool in a picture. Man, it would be a really hard choice for me to pick between the previous car and this car.
Why? Because the previous car is so much better looking than this car.
I don't think so.
It's way better looking.
What?
The blue car is way better looking than this black car.
Why?
Because it just is.
They're the same thing, but offer totally different experiences. And I think I would need to have both of them.
Okay.
So I'm spending a lot of money this week. I've bought a Diablo, a 911 Turbo S,
A not inexpensive Alpha.
a not inexpensive Alpha, a Callaway twin turbo Corvette, a Carrera RS, which is not that much newer than the Turbo S. I'm spending some money this weekend.
What about the handyman wagon? Would you have that?
No, it wouldn't fit in with my highfalutin cars for this week.
I see how it is.
Yeah.
You're being snobbish.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking this is not in the U.S.
You don't think so?
It should say up to the upper left where it's at.
It could
It
be.
says it on the upper right.
It's a 96.
Whatever.
It's in
It's
France.
in France. But it could be here. You can bring it in.
That's going to cause some additional cost and
Expense,
difficulty.
Sure. Like I said, Soren, money is just flying out the window this week.
We're spending your money.
Wouldn't it be better to not buy all that other shit, just buy this and where it's at in France, and then just move there?
Maybe.
It's easier for you to get to France probably than for that to get here.
I don't know
about that.
I don't know about that.
I could be in France tomorrow if I wanted to.
Are the Olympics over yet?
You're assuming they would let him in France.
Don't get me started on France.
So you just want me gone? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Well, that's what it sounded like.
It's no Canada.
I do like that's got 121,000 miles.
Yeah.
So that thing has been
And it's got a replacement engine, supposedly.
right. And gearbox looks like,
And gearbox, supposedly.
and it's been painted.
Yeah.
Why do we need a replacement engine and gearbox at 121,000 miles?
It's like they've been using it for track days.
Yeah, I'm going to
judging
guess
by the
that thing was
roll cage and the seat belts and
ragged
padding.
out and had a great time doing it.
Yep.
The amount of noise and joy that car would bring me. And probably fines.
Need some ITBs though.
Yeah. I know some people.
Not inactive yet.
All right.
Next.
Next. That was $100,000. What was
With
the
4
other one?
days.
250?
With
250, yeah.
several days.
Ooh. I think this is another one of mine.
It's not mine.
The
It's definitely not Soren's.
turbocharged of an unknown year Thunder Ranch 550 Spyder.
Replica.
Turbocharged 2276 powered Thunder Ranch 550 Spider replica.
Yeah.
And it's in Dublin. It's right down the street.
Dublin, Ohio. Why is it in kilometers?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Title says it's a 55 Porsche.
Wow. How'd you do that?
That's nice looking.
Yeah. I saw it turbocharged in a 550 replica. I was like, ooh, I gotta have that. I was like, what am I gonna do with this?
I don't know how good that is to drive. Probably not very.
It's probably scarier than most scary movies.
Oh, I'm sure it's fun to drive.
Do you think there's something in that scoop behind your head to prevent your head from getting crushed when you roll it?
No,
No.
because
Just a little fiberglass.
that's what's underneath it right here.
Yeah. Just a little bit of fiberglass.
Huh. So that's just a deathmobile.
Yeah, pretty much. If you get in any sort of accident in that thing, you're dead.
Because the dashboard appears to be made out of metal.
No, fiberglass.
Okay, fine.
It's fiberglass.
I guess
The entire thing is fiberglass.
that's better.
I like that they used the engine lid ducting for the intercooler and the fan air intake. Or is that the exhaust?
What did you just say?
Fair intake?
What are you saying? Sorry.
I
What's he saying?
don't understand. I think what he's saying is they used
A fair intake and the intercooler.
no, I don't know what he's saying.
Exactly.
It does look kind of like an animal feed trough back there.
It kind of does, yeah.
And it matches. I don't know what the other cooler down below is.
Maybe. Well,
Maybe. But it looks like at least the intercooler and the fan intake for farn intake. Farn
what's
intake
he saying? Sorry.
What the fuck are you talking about?
lines up with those things.
So where it takes air lines up with where the outside holes for air are?
Yeah.
Well, that's generally a good
So
thing.
where the grills are.
Yeah, one's the intercooler and one's the farn intake.
What the fuck is a farn intake? What are you talking about?
I'm not sure.
I think he might be having a aneurysm.
So that cowly thing behind your head, is that just there to reduce the wake of your head?
Yep.
That's just aero.
It's drag reduction.
I think it looks like it just velcroed on.
It looks to me like it's riveted on.
Look, the farn intake. It's that hole right there, the big gaping hole.
Is the farm intake?
Yep. Which I don't know if that's the intake or the exhaust.
I like those wheels, which I know that's part of the brakes, right?
So this has what look like aluminum drums, but they cover up disc brakes all the way around.
Ooh.
So it originally would have had drums?
Originally would have had drums. I believe
This really doesn't look like Dublin.
It looks like gravel.
Yeah, they don't have that in Dublin.
They do.
No, they have fancy gravel. It's got a fancy pedal box.
It's dusty.
Look at that. And
If you're going to take close-up pictures of something, just take a microfiber and dust it first.
Does it say? See, look, the fire intake.
So it's tube frame. Looks
Yeah, I was
like.
gonna say if it was what kind of chassis was under it.
I guess that's Thunder Ranch.
Is that nitrous?
No, it's got methanol injection.
Does it?
Yeah,
Oh, that's what all those tanks were in the front.
yeah.
Well, one of them was the gas tank.
No,
The one that
doesn't
said
need.
snow
It just
performance.
runs on meth, dude.
No, I think it runs on gas.
All right. Well, believe what you want to believe. All I know is my fire intake is still there.
I am less enamored of this the closer the pictures get.
What?
It just
Look at all the projects you could fix.
seems a little
And the
sloppy.
welds look a little rough.
And why would you need to weld a tube together? That fire intake looks pretty well welded.
I really wish you'd stop saying that.
Well welded?
Well welded.
No, farm intake.
Farm.
I know
Farm.
you're saying farm.
You're saying farm.
I know I'm saying farm. I know he's saying farm. I'm aware of that.
Are you?
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to drive it maybe twice or 3 times. Let's see how scared I am.
Can't tell what the rear suspension is.
Maybe there isn't
It
any.
doesn't look like trailing arm.
Is that the front? No, that's the rear still.
That's the rear. It's got to be a trailing arm of some sort.
Pretty sure I saw a trailing arm there.
I see a spring plate.
Yeah. That's the front.
The Beetle front and Beetle rear. Looks like it, kind of. Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry. Want to see who the highest bidder is.
Oh boy.
I think I just saw a comment that asked who can service this.
Who can service this?
I think that's what the comment said.
I'd take it to a Porsche dealership.
Who can service this engine build? Presumably,
why are you flapping dog phlegm on me?
Presumably that's all pretty custom, and you're just gonna have to figure that out.
So why are the fuel line clamps horrible?
Oh God. So you mean the lack of them, or the zip ties?
I'm looking for fuel line clamps.
I'm guessing those would be in the trunk with the fuel line.
No,
They're just
there.
shitty clamps. What do
Yeah.
you want? At least it has some.
At least they're not zip ties.
Yeah. Which are also clamps.
One of the reasons I'm looking at this is somebody we all know
Stop.
is considering this car.
Oh yeah.
I think you should pull the trigger. You should definitely buy it, Soren.
I'm not the person he's referring to.
Oh.
Eric sent me the link to this.
Which one?
This car.
Which Eric?
How many Erics do you know?
The one with the crack in them.
7.
7 Erics? If you counted them, you're sure it's 7.
No.
Oh. Your brother-in-law.
He sent you this
Yep.
and wanted us to look at it.
Yeah, he's
He wanted
gonna.
me to look at it because somebody sent it to him who's thinking maybe about buying it, I think.
No, Eric currently has the Jeep on Facebook Marketplace for sale.
For 35,000.
Yep.
Hmm.
He wants a turbocharged summer car to go tootle around in.
Eric would never buy this car for two
'Cause
obvious
what,
reasons.
it's silver and has no roof on it?
Yes. Those are the two obvious
Those
reasons.
are the obvious reasons.
There are probably other reasons Eric wouldn't buy this car, but I mean, those two pretty much, I think, just knock it out.
It's funny.
It doesn't have a headrest. That's 3.
It's funny. It
It
does have a headrest.
headrest. It's got one for the important person.
Yeah, that's all he cares
okay,
about.
Yeah.
fine. Fair enough. So that's a combination headrest and also reducing the arrow
Yeah.
of your head.
And he's concerned about aero. It fixes 2 things for
I
him.
bet it gets pretty good fuel economy.
Probably gets
It's
good.
probably more efficient than his Jeep.
Yep. I don't know if you remember him driving around in a Mercedes SL convertible all summer one year with the top down.
I don't.
Or a BMW 1 Series.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember that.
I don't think that top ever went down on
No.
I heard the top went down.
Oh, yeah?
Hmm
With him in it?
That's what I heard. Could be wrong.
I think you're wrong.
I've been wrong before.
That's a fact.
Ah.
What the hell is this?
That's me. I want one of those.
Is it?
What is it?
It's an R1200 well, it's an R1250 GS Adventure. I like it. It's
Is
not
it Adventure HP?
It's not white, but that's easy to fix. There's not a lot of not white there. I like the color of the wheels. I want one of those, and so I put that on the list.
It says it's blue, white, and red.
Yeah, I know. But when I'm done with it, it's going to be white, white, and white with some black for the seat.
And gold wheels.
Where's the red?
I don't see red.
I don't really see much white.
Oh, there's red.
Oh god, there it is.
That might
It's
just
got
be
more white on it than anything
that
else.
might just be tank film. Although that's not the tank anymore, but still. Yeah, so I put that on the list because I actively want one of those.
Okay.
All right.
And
It's got weird
Barry,
everyday
you cannot-
headlights.
You cannot hang that on your wall.
No, it's not even going close to my wall. Wouldn't even be inside the building.
Because that weighs like 2,000 pounds.
I don't think that does.
And it's ugly.
It is ugly, but it's a tool.
No, it's
Okay.
not.
It is a tool. It is a tool for doing a job.
It's as much of a tool as a
job
jet
does that
ski
do?
is.
Hmm. Wait,
Yes.
what did you say?
Who?
You said
What job does it do?
it gets you from point A to point B when point A and point B are not connected by road.
Yeah, the same thing a jet ski does.
Only if point A and point B are connected by water.
You didn't specify that.
Its tires don't look very off-roady.
Well, you can put off-roady tires on it.
Okay.
It's a fucking R1200. Basically, it's an R12XX.
That's like
GS
saying I need to
Adventure.
buy a monster truck because I need to pull a stump out of my yard.
Right.
Which a monster truck would not be good at.
But it's a tool for doing it.
It'd probably pull a stump.
It would.
It would not be the ideal thing for pulling a stump.
But it's a tool for doing it.
Dynamite is the ideal thing for pulling a stump.
No, that's a thing for blowing a stump.
It's not there anymore.
Okay. Let me know when we're done with this one.
I'm done with that.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Thank God.
Holy shit.
I'm done with that too.
Wow.
15,000 mile 2-liter.
What is it?
It's a Jetta coupe.
A Jetta.
81 2-liter Jetta 2-door 5-speed. 15,000 miles.
With an Audi 3A.
I'd rather have a Saab 900.
What is this? Who is this? What's going on there? I like it.
If I'm going to have artificial limb colored car, the Saab is better looking.
Ooh.
That is a nice interior. Unable to deny that. Well, the other part of it was, at least.
Oh,
you don't like the dark brown on
Yeah.
caramel?
I like that a lot.
That is tremendous.
I don't like Volkswagens.
What? So you don't like the color because it's a Volkswagen?
I don't like it because it's a Volkswagen. It doesn't matter what color it is.
Next week he's going to come up with 4 Volkswagens.
I like Carmen Gias, and I occasionally like things.
That's pretty
Not
cool.
Schwimmwagons?
It's not really a Volkswagen.
Could be. Could
It
be the
really
right
is a
person.
Volkswagen.
I like it.
I do too.
It could be more on air. And
That one's ended.
ended.
That was no reserve not met at 26,000.
What lunatic wouldn't sell this for that much?
Wow, that's impressive.
Someone really loves it. Oh, a 1998 Mitsubishi Lancer Evo V
Soren,
GSR.
Yes, Mason.
is this yours?
You gotta stop picking
that
cool cars.
You know that it's not.
Why isn't it yours?
Because it doesn't have a Subaru badge on it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that whole thing, you have to pick one, and I've picked.
You don't.
I accept the paradigm that you do because I don't really give a shit, and I've picked. I would never voluntarily own any Mitsubishi.
Ever.
Not because they're bad cars, but because they are so small of a presence in this country that I just don't want to deal with getting parts for them.
That one's definitely got a small presence in this country.
Yeah, it's because they stopped making all the cool ones over here. This
They never sold that one here anyway.
was never sold here. And even though it's a 5, I think this is
Doesn't the right-hand drive deter you a little bit?
Wait,
not really. The 4 was, I think, the beginning of the good-looking ones. 5 was really good-looking.
What year did the Lancer Evolution become the Mitsubishi Evolution?
Huh?
The last ones weren't Lancers, were they?
Yeah.
You sure? I
Yeah.
thought they were just called Evos.
Everyone just said, Eva.
Oh.
Give me an Eva.
Yeah, I think in general it's pretty common to drop the Lancer part and just do the Evo.
Because at least here for a while they had a Lancer which was not whatsoever the Evo. I don't even think it shared the same same part. Except maybe the Lancer part of the badge. Or maybe the Mitsubishi part. I don't know.
They probably shared both
I think
of
they
those
were all
parts.
Lancers.
Well, they were, but the Evo 8s, the Lancer version of that was like 1,000,000% different.
Kind of like the divergence
I don't know
from
about 1,000,000%.
the Impreza that the WI
At least
had.
98% different.
So do you Subaru guys talk about these a lot?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm not really a Subaru guy.
Oh.
I would just...
Seems like
Yeah,
you
we
picked
know.
a team.
You're a Subaru fan guy.
I own one.
You picked a team.
Yeah. You've owned many.
I've owned
We
two.
know who you vote for.
I have owned two.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have owned two had the first one not been smashed.
Yeah, by what exactly?
Honda Pilot.
Oh.
That hit it at 35 miles an hour. And I was
A
stopped.
35-mile-an-hour accident broke the Subaru.
This kid drove a Honda Pilot. No braking at all, no squealing of tires, no skid marks, just drove right into me.
Whenever I see those Subaru commercials where there's like a smashed up Subaru and the family's walking away dazed and they're like, oh, the
Good
Subaru
thing
saved him. I
my
think,
golden retriever is still alive.
Yep.
I was sitting at a red light.
Uh-huh.
There's
Sure you were
This
asking
guy,
for it.
this guy wouldn't be stopped by a single red light. He'd be doing all-wheel drive donuts in the middle of the intersection. Wait until the light turned green, then he'd go.
That's entirely possible. It does sort
the
of.
safest way to go
It
to an
does sort of
intersection.
seem like a Yabo mobile to me.
You should buy a Lancer Evo, and then you'll never be
So
sitting
good.
in a red light.
Look at the fog lights are the size of your face.
I don't care for it.
And the car is so small.
So now for better.
A better one?
So I picked this.
What?
I picked this because it is a relative of this.
Mason had those wheels on this car with
But
that color.
It's got a 3.2 liter inline 6 S54 and a 6-speed. And I picked this because I wanted to know Mason's opinion of why you would do that.
Why you do that?
Because
more power.
Yeah, but isn't it going to lose the sprightliness that it is known for?
Sprightliness?
It's agile.
Ooh, he's using British words.
Agility. I believe so, yes.
And doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose?
I think so.
So why would you do that?
But it accelerates faster.
But why would you do that?
Because that's all some people care about.
But then get something else that accelerates faster.
Well, if they like the way that looks.
Now, I recently have been going through an M3 search for a vehicle.
Yeah.
And I came across the video on a platform where they were supposedly testing every M3 ever made.
Yeah.
Back to back to back to back to back.
Uh-huh.
And they start off with this one because this is the first one.
Right.
Wouldn't an earlier year be the first one?
It doesn't matter.
Wouldn't one that has the correct engine be the first one?
Now, that brings me to my point. Because it had this engine in it. And they're like, well, we're just going to overlook the fact that it doesn't,
it doesn't have any of the shit that it should have to be the thing that it is.
I'm like, well, how can you determine which M3 is the best M3 if this one doesn't have an M3 in? Well,
is in
or
fact
the correct M3 engine?
No longer an M3 of that vintage.
It's not a correct E30 M3 anyway.
Weird.
I was like, what?
Who was that?
I'm not exactly sure.
That was on YouTube.
It was on a platform. I'm sure someone.
When you say platform, I know you mean a media outlet of some variety, but I think of this being done at an old train station.
Ooh, could have
on
been.
the part
on
the part where people wait, which is called the platform.
Yeah.
Well,
once they got in it, and they said that, I was like, all right, I'm not watching the rest of this video because it's all junk. And it wasn't even this. I'm sorry, it wasn't even this engine because this engine. Yeah, it was it was an S50.
M50?
S50.
S50, M50?
Yes.
The individual throttle body? E36 M3 engine?
No, it wasn't even that.
It was
just the US M3 engine.
Okay. Weird.
And it just blew my mind that they would even gloss over that.
So another thing that puzzles me about this is
because this, I think, seems like a legitimate swap.
This thing seems to be in pretty good condition overall. All the pictures we've seen look pretty nice.
It's really nice.
And I feel like if it had its original engine, it would be worth a lot more.
I think it would be worth a lot more.
And I don't know. It just puzzles me.
I think that probably hurts it.
Maybe the original engine flew out in an accident and they're like, fuck
the whole front clip has been replaced.
We're going to put a different engine in.
Yeah. But I think this engine has the same characteristics that the S14 has in the power band kind of delivery. It just does everything a lot more. It's got to be way heavier.
One would assume approximately 50%.
I mean, it's almost touching the radiator.
Yeah.
And those are cast iron block.
Yeah, is this cast iron block?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh. And you had those wheels, right?
Yeah, that's why I was hoping this picture would load. Because now when I see those wheels on that car, I wish I would have never gotten rid of them.
Really?
Yeah, I think those look fantastic.
They do.
Didn't you spend hours and hours and hours sanding those
I
wheels?
did. Yeah.
Using a shop vac as a wet sanding location?
That was my bathtub.
I could have sworn I saw you sanding those at the shop.
Yeah, there was some wet sanding in the shop vac, the bottom of the shop vac.
Oh yeah, there's still some etch primer dust in the bottom of that shop vac.
It could be.
I can go check tomorrow.
I don't know that I want to know.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that was a test for you, Mason.
I see those pictures or those wheels, and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
what was I thinking?
These aren't bad.
I don't know. I like these.
You like those better? You like the
Yeah.
ones I have better than those?
I think the separate rim that's polished or turned or whatever
Yeah.
is a good look on that car. Center-wise, I think the center of these is better than the center of those. I think if you had some
Yeah.
BBS LMs that are gray anthracite in the middle, that would be the best of all possible worlds.
I think that looks really good.
Yeah, that's factory paint because it doesn't have the black stripes in it.
It's definitely not factory paint.
Well, the dealer didn't install the stripes then.
All right. So that was a test. Why was that a test for me?
It wasn't really a test. It was just a.
Oh,
It was for you because I wanted your opinion.
Now, hold that picture right there.
yeah.
The tow hook cover with the slats in it, what's that?
I can't see, but I think that's the stock one, painted red.
Did they do that?
Did who do what?
I thought those were just full panels.
The factory ones on this, on my car, and on that car. Why can't the image be loaded? What is wrong with your internet?
It doesn't like you.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So,
Oh, that's like a BBS.
that's both factory. No, those are both the factory. That's what my car had on it from the factory.
They're ribbed.
Yeah.
Oh, but
they're
they were
black.
painted black.
Well, they're just black plastic.
Ah, I see.
They
I think those
painted
look
them red.
better in bumper color.
Well,
I mean,
you can tell that's factory paint because that's red instead of black.
Yeah. Is it missing the
I don't know.
molding?
It's hard to tell. It's all squidgy in there.
Yeah, looks like it is.
Yeah. It's probably a fun car.
I believe that a lot of the fun is probably taken out of that car by making
think
it
so.
heavier and
No.
less
Well,
agile.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think that engine has the same spirit that the S14 has.
I think I'd just rather have an E46 M3 then.
It's just a little more powerful.
Then have an abomination.
Yeah.
An abomination?
Yeah.
All right, I'm abominating it. I want an abominated one. Now, here we go. This is a real BMW, a 1982 320 IS, turbocharged with stripes.
And not a great red.
I think is it Hellrot? It looks
It's henna.
Hellrotty.
It's
Is
henna.
it?
It's just kind of orangey.
Yeah,
That's henna.
that's not bad. Good seats.
I'm not going to agree
They're
with
not in
you.
great condition.
I'm not going to agree with you on the good seats. I don't like that Marpat looking insert.
The driver's seat's different than the passenger seat.
They sure are. What do you want? It's a sport interior. Boy, those are totally different. Who picked this one?
Not me.
Soren did.
No, I did not.
Well, next.
Oh, no, now we're to the Facebooks.
No, no.
No, we're
No?
not. Mason cheated a couple times.
But we do have to wait on them to load apparently because now Chrome
Let's put them to sleep.
put them to sleep.
They're sleeping.
Not euphemistically, even.
Ew. That is the ugliest Dino I've ever seen in my entire life.
That is a strange looking car. I don't know how I feel about it. I do know how I feel about it. It looks
I know
like
how I feel about it.
it looks like it's on wheels that are too big.
It looks like a Dino that turned into an amphibicar.
You know, Barrett, that is an excellent analogy. Or description or whatever.
Euphemisms?
It seems like it's too high,
It's really high.
but it doesn't seem like you could really lower it much without putting different tires on it or wheels and tires.
Ew.
The back
And
you could lower a little
proportions
bit.
are the worst. Who picked this?
Well, I didn't.
My shitty BMW was way better than this.
I don't think that would be a bad looking car if it were 4
Ew.
inches closer to the ground.
Look at that. That's so bad.
Which part?
The side view.
If it were, imagine it's half again closer to the
Doesn't
ground.
matter. Look at the top. The whole top of it's fucked. It's just gross. The seats are nice. Steering wheel's nice.
I kind of like the dash.
The inside's nice. Outside, fucked.
It's a 903cc Fiat inline 4. I wonder if that's the same motor they used in my bike.
And what bike?
Well, the K100 has a motor that BMW designed for Fiat and then
No,
miniaturized.
Peugeot.
Peugeot? All right. So it's not.
No, it's definitely not the same engine.
It's been bored over, though, so it got 35 more cc's.
Yep,
That means it blew up once.
got 62 more cc's. So
Oh,
903 to 965.
you're right. I was reading that as 930. I don't think I would want that car as it is currently configured.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it at all.
So I picked this one.
You picked it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So I know how much you guys like Dinos.
I do like a
And
Dino,
there weren't any Dinos this week.
and that's
Well-
Dino-esque.
It's way slower, way uglier.
The image went away.
Oh,
It doesn't even have a Ferrari badge. It doesn't sound as good.
it's rear engined.
And that makes it worse.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you put
It's not
smaller
even a good-looking Beetle.
wheels and tires on it or something and lowered it,
No.
it would
Those
be.
are 175s on a 13-inch wheel.
I don't.
Yeah,
It doesn't. It doesn't
just
look
wrong.
like it sits right.
And it's a tiny little car.
Yeah, it's bad.
No, maybe it's just bad.
I agree. Next.
Next. Ooh, I deleted this off of my list.
It's got those wheels too. Oh no, those
Those are
18s.
different.
You deleted this off your list?
Yep, it was on my list.
No reserve. It's at 10.5.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but kind of sad I didn't. Should have. Well, I don't know. No, I'm not sad I didn't because you picked it. Anyway,
I think these are really cool.
they're
except,
super cool.
except for the automatic transmission thing.
Yeah, but I think they have a really good chance of being a really good WRL car. There's a lot of cool new tech stuff. Not new because they're kind of old, but newer than an E46 chassis.
Is there a little container with a lid facing down there that looks like it might unscrew?
Oil
Yes.
filter?
No. You put the air in the thing, and then the things go thunk.
Oh, that's an air jack?
Oh, under the car?
Just
Yeah.
a weird looking air jack.
I didn't really look at this, but it looks like a nice one.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't move me.
It shouldn't. It's going to be a lot of fun.
There, that's cruel and untrue. I like fun.
We've determined that that is not the case.
No, you haven't.
Yes, we
Well, I
have.
mean, maybe you have, but
You
you're wrong.
only like fun if it's dark green with tan interior.
Right.
That's untrue.
Or
And
made of wood.
And not fun.
Or have wood in it.
I like fun. Jesus Christ. Why do I even have to make an argument that I like? That's ridiculous. What's that carbon fiber swoop up there for?
It's the boomerang
It's
of
a break.
doom.
What is it?
It's a brace. What do you want?
I just wanted to
It's
know
got
what
a
it was.
transponder that's worth millions.
Ooh.
Is it a factory BMW transponder?
No.
I don't think they have factory ones. What? We will go out in a minute once we get through this awesome race car. And maybe another one.
I think those are air jacks. Probably some really cool, really expensive German ones.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like
It's got a
Crontec,
cooler full of oil.
BMW twin power oil.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of opposed to anything that requires oil that I can't just go buy at a regular store.
Curious where this one will end.
Probably around 100.
So
100?
Yeah.
that is not a streetable car.
Maybe
right?
80
Those have been going for 100?
for a really, really nice one.
Really?
Probably 80,
Okay.
I'm gonna guess.
All right.
I think
Last car.
there's one more.
Last bring a trailer.
There's one more.
I hope it's. No, it's not the one.
Well, I'm just going to say
All right,
for the record, next.
No, what is it? Is it a Beetle?
The
So-
71 911T.
No, it's not.
Yep.
Well, it was.
And
It's under category project.
it is.
this looks like the guy that makes the Carrera GTs out of Porsche Boxsters.
It's got some
Made-
935 bodywork on it. Style bodywork.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
It appears to be on someone's back patio.
The best thing about this entire thing are the wheels.
The wheels are pretty cool.
Yeah, they're okay.
Oh, and maybe the double NACA on the rear quarters
The double reverse
Yeah.
Nacaducks.
that scooch air over the wheel.
What?
Yep.
They scooch air over the wheel.
Scooch air over the wheel.
They draw it into the fender
It looks like it
And
goes
over the wheel.
into the fender and then out through the reverse NACA. Oh, and they're only on the one side. Cool.
Maybe that's meant for a particular kind of circle.
Ooh, it's definitely going left. Or maybe right.
One would assume left.
Wonder if you couldn't do something with that.
You can do something with it.
Ooh, you could hang that on your wall.
I don't want to do anything with it though.
I bet you could sell the nose for some money.
Hmm.
Oh, holy shit.